our speaker today is someone who has given themselves to love and wants to share what that journey has been about. So it is Richard Inman, who's been a true student for many, many years. Okay, Rich.
Great. Thank you for this beautiful service so far. Oh, this is stirring me up. I just want to send out a big thank you to this congregation and all of those of you out there who create this experience. Jan and Nina, thank you so much for that song. It's so strange. I've been meaning all week to send an email over and request that Jan and Nina sing "Give Yourself to Love," one of my favorite songs. Never got around to it. Just gave it up to the Great Spirit, and just an affirmation for me that sometimes you just got to let go and let God do God's job. I didn't get the chance to send the email about give yourself to love, but somehow God decided give yourself to love was the tune for this Sunday and this talk and this service. Anyway, thank you all, especially the anchors that put countless hours and thoughts into maintaining our community. It's such I'm discovering what a deep blessing this church is. And also, in these times when sometimes we feel alienated and distant from our friends and our family, or maybe some of our family has died or moved away or whatever, we have an organization called the Ambassadors, and you can call them up. And they'll come to your house and they'll talk to you and they'll socially distance on your porch. Janice and I have had the privilege of going out and singing on the porch for a few people. And it's a life-affirming, beautiful experience. And quite often it's all about the ambassadors. They're having a fabulous time. And I can guarantee you also will receive a blessing. So, feel free to call on the ambassadors. That's why they're here. And I don't know if we have a banner. We have a banner made. It says, come on out. We'll help you with your computer. We'll sing for you. We'll talk with you. We'll cry with you. Whatever you want to do, we'll do it with you because we're all one. We're all having very similar experiences. And that's what this church is about. That's why they call it unity. We are one. And we're here for you. So anyway, thanks. Thanks for being here. I had a kind of a wild couple weeks. Couple of my people have died this week. A friend died of COVID, and sorry, and then my cousin died a couple of days ago, not of COVID, but stirred up, fears of death, fears of loss, that kind of thing, being in fear. And I just had this sent to my email. I signed up for the Alan Cohen newsletter, and he sent this out, or I found it. I just want to read this to you, a little message. Oh, by the way, Pink, perfect talk, perfect message for today. Peg, thanks for that daily. Everything's lining up. Basically, I just get up here and say a few things because we are in total alignment with what we need to hear and receiving the spiritual vitamin that will fortify us and align us with the Great Spirit. This is a little thing that Alan sent out. He said, there is a virus that has infected far more people and it's causing far more problems than Corona. The virus of fear. When we drop into fear, we lower our resistance to disease and its effects. Fear and well-being operate at two entirely different frequencies, each with vastly different results. You cannot be in fear and well-being at the same time. It's one or the other. I now offer what I believe is the best solution to ending the effects of coronavirus. And here's the big message of this talk. Quit being afraid. You know, if you, I was looking for a quote from the Bible. It says, a fear, you know, what the Bible say about fear? There are 100 references in the Bible. Basically, be not afraid. Fear not. Alan Cohen, quit being afraid. There are two elements that have made the disease rampant in some areas. One, the physical nature of the virus, and two, the fear that people lay over it, leading to the negative effects that fear reaps. And one of the things I really believe is very true, and I'm going to review this one sentence. When we drop into fear, we lower our resistance to disease and its effects. The Dalai Lama has a great line: breathe in smoke, breathe out light. You know, one of the things that I think is an important teaching in our church is that we are the light of the world. And what does that mean? We affirm that everything's in divine order. We are not victims of appearances. We affirm love, truth, peace. We experience those things by not being afraid. And how do you not be afraid? I mean, come on. You watch the news, you listen to this, you talk to your friends, oh my God, and then this happened, and then the Delta and the Lambda and the Zeta, and everyone's dying, and the kids are dying, and everything's horrible. It's very difficult to maintain a state of peace, love, and joy when our appearances are going, hey, what about this? Can you be happy during this? You cannot be in a peaceful state with all the Afghanistan, blah, blah, crazy. And I used to be a charge nurse at a critical care hospital, a mental hospital. And I was the guy. I would come in, you know, and all the mental health workers would come over to me and they go, oh my God, crazy. There's a lady took all her clothes off. She's running up and down the hall, and there's a guy walking into people's bathrooms while they're going to the bathroom. And what are we doing? It's crazy. And sometimes, and sometimes our staff would just go absolutely bonkers. And I'd pull them in the back room and I'd say, look, yeah, we're having an interesting day, right? Interesting. What I want you to remember is you are the sane person here. I wish I could have said, you are the light of the world. Go forth in love. Affirm things are in divine order. That's your job. Couldn't say that. I would say, take a deep breath. Realize this is all going to be fine. I'll go talk to the lady and see if I can get her to put her clothes back on. And I'll talk to the guy about walking into people in the bathroom. And we'll take a deep breath, and then we're going to have dinner. It's all going to be great. Pretty soon, within an hour or whatever, things were fine. things smoothed out. And I want to affirm that little speech to you folks. We are the light of the world. Bible, Alan Cohen, the Dalai Lama, all the heavy hitters, and Richard Inman's going to say it to you right now to your face. Be not afraid. Take a deep breath. Follow your breath. You know, the only time we experience fear, not the only time, but one of the major times, 90% of the time when we're afraid, we are afraid of the future, or we dragging past experiences of pain and trauma into the present When you are totally in the moment, without time, just here, be here now, now. You know, Eckhart Tolle has this beautiful quote. He says the people who are having problems and who are afraid, he'll say, are you having a problem right now? Right now, are you having a problem? I mean, right now in your current life experience, are you having a problem right now? And now, and now. And you start to get into this now space and you realize, I'm not having a problem right now. I'm having a projection of fear into the future. Without time, without the future, and the future does never exists. We are always right now, right now, right now, right now. And that's where we will find our peace. The only place we can find love, peace, joy, God, a meaningful, intimate relationship is now, right now. And that's your job during this talk, is to take a few breaths. If you're feeling some anxiety, if you feel like there's pain in your body and your head and your chest, and I just had a moment of grief when I was thinking about my people who have died recently. Makes me sad. But when I'm in the now, when I'm right here, I am fearless. I am not afraid. And that's our job. We are truth students. We can go out into the, I met a woman the other day, Janice and I go once in a while back, we went to, it's called the 39 Plus Club. It's in Morro Bay, and we get together, and most of us are, you know, over 60, and we dance the foxtrot, the cha-cha, the swing. And a lady at the table was saying, my husband's reading the news every day, and he's focusing on the Delta and everything, and what is going to happen, and the world's kind of climate change, and everything's coming to an end, and oh my God. And then I said, well, you know, that's why we come here, you know, to dance. You know, when you're next to another being, you're holding them and you're cha-chaing or you're swinging, and the music is playing and your body is moving, you are affirming that you are alive, well, connected, blissful, and feeling love. Not all the time. I mean, sometimes I'll go in and I'll start dancing, and sometimes I don't start locking into the love zone until the third dance. It takes a while sometimes. Sometimes I'll come in with, oh God, what's this world doing? But that dancing, you know, there's a saying, let life be a dance. Really a dance, real dancing. You know, I've just started dancing the last couple of years. Before that, I'd play in bands, and you know, we'd be the guy that plays for people. And I used to think, man, I would really love to be on stage playing music. That was always in my mind, you know, because that's what musicians do. And now I'm like, no, I want to be on the dance floor, communing with another human being, moving to the music, looking in someone's eyes and affirming. You know, when you look in someone's eyes and they're feeling joy and bliss, it's contagious. And then you feel joy and bliss, and you shoot that back in them, and pretty soon you guys are dancing with joy. So anyway, that's my first lesson from Alan Cohen, the Bible, Dalai Lama, Eckhart Tolle, a lot of the heavy hitters. They say it all. Quit being afraid. Take a deep breath. That doesn't mean we don't take care of business. You know, Ram Dass says, just because you're enlightened and eating bliss burgers all day doesn't mean you get to forget your zip code. We are taking precautions around this pandemic. Many of us have gotten vaccinated and wear masks and distance and are mindful of what's going on. That's called remembering your zip code. let's see, I've got all these wonderful, I want to talk a little bit about someone that I really, I've never met her because she's been dead a long time, but her name is Curtis Hopkins. For those of you who are not familiar with the history of New Thought, back in the late 1800s, early 1900s, there was a woman named Emma Curtis Hopkins, and she was known as the teacher of teachers. And she taught, let's see, she taught the Fillmores, Ernest Holmes, Harriet, Katie, people who basically have established the New Thought in churches. And there's a quote from her, and she has such a beautiful, just a beautiful way of saying something I want to communicate. It says, there are ways of thinking about your environment which will make you like a harp in the fingers of love. Let me say that line again, it's so pretty. There are ways of thinking about your environment which will make you like a harp in the fingers of love. So enchanting will be your silent mind to the world, hurt traveler. So blessed will sound your voice to the bruised child of human hardships. You need not worry about whether you shall speak or not. You will have your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel if you take the fresh morning for giving thanks and glad praises unto the Spirit and speak forth with freedom and some lesson of this science. I had a very interesting experience a couple of weeks ago. Janice and I were invited to come sing at a retreat center in Idlewild, which is a small mountain community outside of, it's out in the desert near Palm Springs. And there is a place there called Spirit Mountain. And, we thought, wow, this is going to be a great opportunity to be able to sing. Janice and I have written, I don't know, 20 songs in the last year or so. And we're excited about sharing them. So I had the idea of, okay, we're going to be going through Los Angeles. I've been going to Los Angeles for my whole life. And I have my favorite restaurants, favorite little haunts. So I thought, let's stop at my favorite restaurant, and then we'll go to the Comedy Store, which I love comedy. I love laughing. So we stopped at the at Cantor's, which is a beautiful Jewish deli on Fairfax. And as we're walking in, there was a woman camped out right on the corner with a sleeping bag, kind of in a Buddha position. And all of her worldly possessions were all around her. It was like a camp right on the main thoroughfare on Fairfax. I was thinking, oh my God, I've never seen that before. And then we started driving around Los Angeles. And there are all these tent cities all along the freeway. And I've never seen that before. And I'm just thinking, oh my God, what is going on? What happened? And then I thought, well, I wonder how many homeless people are there. I was reading that there are 568,000 people in the United States experiencing homelessness. 568,000, 66,000 are in Los Angeles County. There are 150,000 homeless people in California. And made me sad. I went into fear. I was like, what is happening? What is happening in this world? What's going on? Who's minding the store? We have all these buildings that no one's in. A lot of them are churches. Well, how come these people don't have beds? And there's a quote from Ramdas that kind of puts this this experience I had in perspective. It says, our interactions with one another reflect a dance between love and fear. What you meet in another being is a projection of your own level of evolution. What you meet in another being is the projection of your own level of evolution. So anyway, we left Los Angeles and we were on our way to Idlewild. We got to Idlewild, and Idlewild, beautiful mountain community, lots of statues of Buddha and the goddess of compassion, and it's a very elevated town. You know, people come there to go to retreats. So we were staying at a place called Spirit Mountain, which is a beautiful retreat center run by a retired nun named Mary, beautiful spirit. And so Janice and I and immediately the energy there was love, peace, harmony. And such a huge contrast for Los Angeles, which felt very oppressive and fearful, fear-based. And here I am hanging out in this beautiful spiritual retreat center. And I had, coming out of Los Angeles, my voice had started to kind of get gravelly and low. I realized, I know and Janice and I are always singing in the car, Patches in the car, we're singing, the dog's howling, it's a love fest. Going down traveling with Janice is like a total spiritual treat anyway. We just, we know how to go into the love state. We just hang out there, and Patches is always there. So we're just like having a great time. I'm singing, I'm realizing, God, some of these high notes I got to sing in the song, I'm having trouble getting, and I'm like, oh my God. And I don't have any trouble with my voice, usually. So we set up in this beautiful garden with these 200-year-old redwood trees. I think they're 500 years old. These beautiful giant redwoods all around us, in this beautiful garden, the sun shining through. Dennis and I set up, we're doing this beautiful concert for people who are also very spiritually elevated. And we did an hour and 15-minute show. And during that time, I would be singing, and all of a sudden, instead of having a low gravelly voice, couldn't hit the high notes, I'm singing up an octave. Places I normally don't sing. I'm just, my angel spirit, whatever's going on, singing through me. And I'm thinking, wow, where did that note come from? Sometimes I'm very surprised when I'm singing. I'm like, whoa, that was an interesting choice there, Rich. What are you doing? And the takeaway, the metaphysical takeaway of that is basically what Emily Cady was saying, is that we are lights of the world. And Janice and I had the permission to move into a space where there were lights of the world all around us. And that garden, someone told me that garden had been blessed by some very high spiritual person, had opened a vortex to heaven on that particular garden. And that was my experience. There was a clarity and a beauty in that space anyway, it was very eye-opening for me. So where am I here? Talks about, I want to talk a little bit about death. Much of our fear in life comes out of death, fear of death. I just want to say a couple things about death. I think this is Eckhart Tolle. And this has brought some comfort and insight, because I've needed it this last few weeks. Your entire life only happens in the moment. Present moment is life itself, right now, right here. Yet people live as if the opposite were true and treat the present moment as a stepping stone to the next moment, a means to an end. The more you live in the present moment, the more the fear of death disappears. Let me say that last line. The more you live in the present moment, the more the fear of death disappears. Let's see, I've got one more here. Oh, here we go. So I'm going to wrap this up, and I just want to thank you all again for being here this morning. And one of the beautiful things and the fantastic gifts that I receive from doing these talks is I get to look at my own life experience, and like cleaning house. I am not interested in communicating something to you folks that I don't have an experience of. And so I actually have to kind of dig in and do some house cleaning and some looking, and that's a tremendous gift. And then the ability to communicate it to you folks is enriching. So the theme, which is quit being afraid, you are the light of the world. The more present you are in the moment right now, less death will have a grasp of you, because death is an illusion. We are alive now, which is the only time we exist. And you get that. You get that. And you have to get it a number of times. You have to get it a number of times. I'm going to read this to you and then I'll be over. Be vigilant, not to drop into fear. When the voice of fear speaks loudest, the voice of love must speak louder. Fear knocked at the door. Faith answered, no one was there. A light that shines in the darkness makes a more powerful statement than a light that shines in the daylight. Reframe the coronavirus as an opportunity to prove the spiritual truths you have studied. This is our moment to practice what we believe. You deserve to be well along with everyone. Illness is not the will of God. Healing is. You are established in your spiritual identity. You develop spiritual and physical immunity that no disease can touch. So it is.